All right, everybody. Just want to make sure you can all hear me. If you are in the chat, let me know if you can hear everything okay. I have a little bit of noise in my microphone, but I don't know where it's coming from, but hopefully it's not too distracting. Just a little bit of a buzz that I've heard a little earlier when I was trying to set this up. So Steph says that coming loud and clear. Good. Well, welcome to Gwup. This is number 33. The numbers are meaningless, except for that's how many that I've done. And so anybody can join in at any time. And like the email had said, this is for beginners, beginnermediates. I heard somebody use that phrase the other day, and I really like that, beginnermediate. So we're going to be doing some exercises today that are going to come from a book that was written, gosh, probably close to 100 years ago. It's crazy. It was written in the late 30s. I'm not sure what year it came out, but it's a George Van Epps book called the George Van Epps Method for Guitar, and it has to do a lot with triads on the guitar and getting around those things. And that's right, yeah. So Steph said, check out the sheet music. It's pinned at the top. You can click on that button, and it'll let you download that and print it out. So that'll be helpful for taking today's class. So yeah, so the book series is not written in tab. So, you know, all you non-tab readers, I've tabbed this out for you so that you could also benefit from this. And this is just a small little portion of this, because this material can take you a long time to get through, but it's so beneficial of mastering the fretboard and learning these triads. But also today we're going to be looking at it from building up strength for bar chords. I know a lot of guitar players have trouble with bar chords, especially on an acoustic guitar. Maybe not so much an electric guitar, but it does happen, especially that, you know, that dreaded F chord that people always struggle with in the beginning. But also playing a chord and then playing a note. So we're going to get sort of like a little bit of melodic ideas here. But let's start off. We're going to start off with just a simple little warm-up, because the stuff that's in this, it's easy to grasp, but it's not easy to master. So let's start off with just a simple exercise. And the way this is going to go is, and some of you Gwup veterans might recognize this one. What we're going to do is we're going to play everything ascending. So the note, I'm going to start in third position. So first finger on the third fret on the low E string. And then for this, I'm going to pick everything down. So I'm going to pick down, and then I'm going to go to the second finger, the next fret up. And we're going to do that on every string. So it's going to go, okay, all the way to the top string, and then we're going to work our way back. But every time it's going to go from the low note to the high note. So let's play that together. I'm going to put a little bit of a drum track here for us so that we can play along. And we're going to go, let's count this. Here we go. Play as quarter notes. And a 1, 2, with me, go. Repeat the top string, and then back down. Let's do that again, one more time. And 1. Everything's a downstroke. also doing a rest stroke. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what that is, I'm just going to hit a string, and then my pick is going to rest on the next string, on the adjacent string. So this way I'm picking more into the guitar as opposed to pulling away from the guitar, pulling out from the string. It's into the guitar. All right, so this time we're going to switch up and we're going to go index finger to the third finger. Here we go, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat the top string. Let's do it one more time. 1. Yeah, work on that rest stroke. That's important. And we're going to do that in the rest of this session today, working with that rest stroke. All right, now let's go to the index finger and the pinky. 1, 2, and a ready and a go. And 1. First finger, pinky. One more time. All right. Now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready, go. Next string. Going backwards with this one. All right, so we want to make sure that we are connecting all of those notes together. We are playing legato and not staccato. So if I played staccato, disconnected. I want legato, connected. You also want to make sure that you're not getting this like double noted action, like where the finger is coming down too soon. We want the finger to come down and the pick to attack exactly at the same time. And so on. Okay, so now let's move on to exercise 1 in the sheet music. And so the way this is going to go is we're going to start off. Oops, my screen's is maximized here. I want to shrink this down just a second. All right, perfect. So the first chord that we're going to deal with is a C chord, right? And so that you can see my nut. So I'm in 5th position, and I'm barring with my first finger. So I'm barring the 4th string and the 3rd string. And then the 3rd finger is going to be playing the 7th fret on the 5th string. So I've got 7, 5, 5. And you know, if you try to like do, let me get to the other screen. So some people try to like really contort their hands and get, you know, it's really not that hard to hold. And you can see that my fingers are kind of coming in at an angle. I'm not trying to keep this straight. as I come up the fretboard and I get my hand closer to my body, then my fingers go a little more straight, right? But here I can be, especially like I can really show you at the first fret, you know, it's not straight like this. I'm kind of at an angle. Well, I am at an angle. Okay? So I want you to play this with me. Just play. All right, we're just going to play that triad. So we've got, there's the third of the chord, the fifth of the chord, and there's the root, the C note. Okay, so there's the chord. Now you want to make sure that that's ringing out, that you're not getting, get any sounds like that. If you are, you might be back too far in the fret. You know, you want to make sure that you're up against the fret, but not on top of it, right? It's hard for you to see that because, you know, it looks like my finger's on top of the fret, but I'm actually not. I'm actually just pressing just right up against that fret there. Yeah. So then the next portion of this is we're going to strum the chord, and then the pinky's going to come down and play that D note there on the third string. Okay, so what I'm doing here as far as technique, I'm doing a rest stroke. I strum 3 strings, and I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So I play the rest stroke, and which means my pick, I play the 3 strings, and then my pick comes to rest on the second string, right? And then I'm going to do an upstroke to play this note as the pinky comes down. And I don't really have to make another motion. I can just pull my hand away and just kind of like grab hold of that string. Right? Try that a few times with me. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is my index finger here is barring those 2, but now I'm just going to need 3, so it's going to be 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, right? And you'll see that in the sheet music. I hope I was told that I'm frozen on Facebook. I don't know why, or frozen on YouTube. Anyway, we're going to keep on going. I think we're good. So playing that chord there, and then the second finger is going to play here on the 6th fret. That's an upstroke, so I go down on the rest, stroke, up, and then we're going to reverse that. So now we're strum, up, and then back to this, and then up. So what we're doing is we're getting a scale, C major scale, right? And we're getting these 2 C chords, this one and that one. So think about this like the way a piano player would. So we're going to go. Okay, it's going to be a little slower than that, but that's the idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, and you're going to do this with me, we're going to play that, and then we're going to shift up to the next position. So play C chord, and then we're going to shift up and play C sharp. And then when we run out of room up here, we're going to go back down again. Okay? So let's try that. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, with me and go. 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. Now we're going to shift up, shift, shift up from here. Just do one time from now on. And shift. Shift up, and it's getting kind of cramped in there, but you're good. Let's shift down, and one. Shift down, and one. Down. If you're feeling a little burn in there, you might want to stop and just join in whenever you can. One more, and one. All right. So if you're feeling that a lot in your hand, you may want to hold your hand to your side and shake it, get the blood flowing back into your hands again. That's a lot. That's a lot, and I hope that you can see by doing this, it'll really improve your hand strength for doing just bar chords and other things too. But you know, if you have trouble doing bar chords or just even switching chords, this can really help you. Let's go to the next part. So now, we'll zoom in here again. Now we're going to come up to 8th position. So index finger is going to be on the 8th fret, and I'm starting that on the 2nd string. Now here's my forms. It's the C chord again. So I have C, E, G. So this is 10th fret, 9th, 8. So 10, 9, 8, just right in a diagonal row there, okay? Same deal, we do rest stroke, and then now with the pinky, again, I pull away, grab that string, and get the, now it's going to an A on this chord. Now you can see that I don't go, this finger doesn't jump up. I'm keeping all of these fingers down because I want all of those notes, just like the previous one, I want all of these notes to ring. Okay, then the next one, if you think about these notes, they're just going to follow in a diagonal line. Now I'm going 9, 8, 7. Okay, that's the chord. Okay, so let's come back up here. Now I want you to pay attention to this motion that I do here, because I want you to incorporate this into your practice. So when I go here and I go to the pinky, notice my pinky stays down, and I'm actually pivoting on that pinky. And you might go, how in the heck do you do that? Well, you just practice practice a lot. So I'm pivoting on that. This stays down as I come down to this chord here. All right. All right. Now, here's another challenge. So we're going to use this knuckle and collapse that knuckle and get a bar with the second finger. Okay. this is an amazingly hard technique. And it's, again, it's simple to show you, but you might go, oh my God, I'm going to break my knuckle. And I was there. Trust me, I was there when I first started. When I knew that you could rotate these knuckles to do hyperextensions, it was painful. I thought I was going to break my knuckle, and I kept at it. And after it was a short amount of time, but it took several days of me just like really just slowly going into this, and eventually I was able to do this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that now. I wasn't going to break my knuckles, so take it slow. But this is a great technique because, as George Van Epp says, this is kind of like the fifth finger. Because if I play here, if I roll this down, it's like almost like having another finger that kind of comes in there and plays that note for me, which is awesome. So I'm going to play here, then roll that finger down, get that C. So now I have, there's my C chord, roll it up, and then back to this chord with the pinky down, and then back to our original chord. So let me play that through this, so you can see that. There's one extra move that I want to point out. Okay? Now when I came back to the beginning from here, this time I'm keeping this down and pivoting on that note to get to here. This is an advanced motion, but know that it exists, and you can incorporate that into your playing as much as you can. So then the index finger comes up here. All right, so let's do the same deal. This time we're just going to go down and then work our way back up again. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll shift down from there. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to take a little drink. Okay. No. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift down. Shift down, rest stroke, pick up, rest. Down. good. How's that working out for you guys? If you feel that your fingers, you can again shake that out, get the blood flowing back into your phalanges there. Now we're going to combine those two. So we're going to start. All right. So now we're getting the full scale. If you look at how these are connected, we want to be able to do this in all 12 keys. Okay, so I'm going to play, and that's pretty simple because I'm going to stay in the same position for the first part. But now, in order to shift up to the next one, I got to think, okay, what's the spacing there? How many frets do I need to move? And what finger am I going to concentrate on? Excuse me. As I shift, so that when I play it in a different key, then I'm going to land on the right chord as I shift up. So if I go here, the next note that I want is here. So it's 2 frets up from that melody note, right? And my index finger is going to that. So I can look at this as my index finger is actually going to jump up to the second string diagonally 3 frets. Okay, so when I go here, then my index finger is going to go from here and jump up 1, 2, 3 frets, and then I go into this form. And then I can finish off, right? And then the same backwards. What am I going to do? There's the next chord. Well, there's the next note. I got to get this finger to that note. Well, that's 1, 2, 3 frets. But now I'm looking at my second finger. So from here, second finger goes down 1, 2, 3. Go into this form. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. Like when you think about how each thing is connected as you shift, it's going to make that shift a lot easier, that you're not like doing the hunt and peck method and going, oh, I don't know where I am and I don't know where to go. So have you done that? So here, index finger goes up 1, 2, 3 frets to here. Now second finger goes down 1, 2, 3 frets to here. Okay? So just follow along as much as you can, and let's take this for a little bit of a spin here. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. And we shift. Let's do it again. All right, so let's just take this to another key. I'm not going to do all 12 keys with you because it would take like, 15 minutes to go through all of it. But let's go to, how about, let's go to B flat, okay? That's going to be third position. Everything else is going to stay the same. All the geometry stays the same. Let's try that. Go 1, 2 with me and go. Up 3 frets. Down 3 frets. One more time. So if you're playing around all the different keys, I like to go around in the cycle of fourths. So that means when I start in C, then I would go to F. So I'd come up here. Okay, that gets really cramped in there. That's tough. And then I'd go to B flat, just like we did. And then we go to E flat. Where am I? I don't know. If you don't have that memorized, then I would suggest that you go online and just type in, go to Google and just type in cycle of fifths or circle of fifths. I call it a cycle because it is a cycle of how it goes around. Anyway, it'll still get you to the same place, and then you can follow that cycle around. It looks like a clock, and then you go around counterclockwise. So it'll go C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and so on. So it's cool because it sounds more the way songs go in terms of how the chords follow. To me, it sounds better, but you're also getting the flat keys first. So to me, it's the hardest. So you might as well do the hardest stuff first, and then when you get to the natural keys, then towards the end, it's kind of like a break. Like, oh man, I don't have to think anymore. So that is the best way to do it. And that's the way I always train on these things. So now the last thing I'm going to show you is we won't do this. I'll play it through once, but it is that same scale or that same pattern, but we're going to do quarter notes in the melody. So the chord stays the same, and I'm going to go. All right. Now when I do that, I'm doing a rest stroke on each one. So a rest, up, rest, up. So you only strum the chord the first time, and then the remaining three notes in the measure, you're just doing single notes. Then we go backwards. Then I would take that around all 12 keys. You could do it chromatically if you wanted. If you just wanted to jump up, that's fine. I recommend doing both, the chromatic approach and the going around the cycle of fourths approach. All right, so hope that didn't destroy your hands too much. You could always come back and just do one of them. And then add the second one and build that up. This is not a speed exercise. This is about being as clean as you possibly can, being as accurate as you possibly can. And so to me, it's to warm up with this as a technique builder. It's easy and it's the way that it's constructed, but it's difficult to get it to be to where it sounds really good. And to me, if you stick with this, you'll get good at it pretty quickly, and it'll make all of your other playing and stuff like that better. And I'd also check out the book. Like I said, if it's only in standard notation. It's not in tab. If you would like to work with me with this stuff, if you want to go a little farther in what's going on here, I teach privately one-on-one lessons. You can contact me about lessons and how that works. I teach through Zoom, and we can dive a little more into this stuff and a whole lot of other things too. So so I hope you liked the Gwup today, and didn't have too much trouble with YouTube. I don't know if YouTube was locking up or not, but also there's a link in the description if you liked the show today. There's a little thing that you can, if you want to donate for the class, I'd appreciate that. That helps me put this all together and keep this going. And otherwise, I will see you next month. Remember, it's the second Monday of every month. And yeah, so I'll be on for a little bit. If you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat, and I'll respond to you for a little while here. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.